Welcome to Vator TV, the network for innovators. I'm Bambi Francisco, and I'm speaking with Todd Greene. He's the COO and co-founder of Trusted Opinion. Trusted Opinion is a social recommendation network, and Todd joins me now to tell us a little bit about Trusted Opinion. It's about a year old. You launched in the spring of 2007, correct?
That's right, a little less than a year old today.
And the site basically helps you find recommendations really from your friends. So you offer weighted recommendations. Tell us a little bit about it.
Right. Trusted Opinion is what we call, like you said, a social recommendation network. And what that does is it allows you to get trusted recommendations based on your network of friends. So what we do is apply a higher weighting to the opinions of people you're directly connected to, less of a weight to the people they're directly connected to, and so on down the chain. And what that means is that everyone gets a unique rating or a unique score for each item they look at. This is different from most other sites that basically give you an average score. If 100 people review something, you see 3 stars out of 5 because that was the average.
Sure. We have the site up. Can you give us a little demo?
Sure. I think this one screen we're looking at right now is probably indicative of the concept that we're trying to get across. In this example here, we're looking at the movie Pulp Fiction. And while we do show the average score, which is 8.2, which is what you'd see on most other sites, we show that what we call the radar score. And this is our patent-pending way of taking the recommendations of your friends, the opinions of your friends, and weighing them more highly, the opinions of the people they're connected to, like I said, and weighing them a little less highly to get that unique score for me. You might log into the site with your group of friends and see 7.8 or 6.5 for this particular film. And down here, we get this bird's eye view, this one snapshot visualization of me in the center, my immediate friends who have rated this film in the inner circle, their friends in the outer circle, and I can see at a single glance my individual friends.
Who's rated 10 and who's rated 8? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I guess how do you get those recommendations? And these people are not going on to Trusted Opinion and writing the recommendations. They're writing the recommendations across the web.
Actually, no. They are going on to Trusted Opinion. We have a very active community. In fact, right now, an average member of our site invites 37 friends. So we have a pretty viral growth going on right now. And we have a very large number of movie reviews happening on the site. So
why would your friends go there? I mean, right now, I'm on Netflix, I'm on Flixster, Amazon. Why would I go to Trusted Opinion to write my recommendations there when I'm already doing it elsewhere?
Well, at the end of the day, this is really about social recommendations, and the social part means you're interacting. You're not just coming here to get a piece of information and leaving. People come here, they interact, they want to meet people based on shared opinions and shared recommendations and shared tastes. They want to come here, share dialogue about film. They can add to their Netflix queue directly from our site, so they don't have to go off. They can buy the film directly on Amazon. So basically, there's a social meaning and a social reason for being here. We provide a lot of tools and really fun, engaging kinds of experiences for users to stay and rate movies.
So it looks like they're really sharing their recommendations about movies and DVDs, and this is clearly sort of a Flixster competitor.
Well, not really. I mean, Flixster is a very movie-specific site, and they're probably just even given their name going to stay as a movie-specific site. Trusted Opinion, when we launched, we put movies out as a test category, but the real value in Trusted Opinion goes across a multitude of categories. So we're going to be launching things like books and restaurants, other local services, so that people can really share and exchange recommendations for a wide range of categories.
So then that almost sounds like a Yelp, because people are also putting up stuff from recommendations. I guess what's the draw to bring
Yeah, let's talk about Yelp specifically.
To your site.
So, once again, the way Yelp does recommendations and reviews is like the other sites, an average score across the board. And what you tend to see with sites like Yelp, and by many measures, Yelp is a very successful site, but it's successful in a very specific social group. We even call them Yelpers, right? These are people who like Yelp. They share recommendations. They read other people's recommendations. My mother probably doesn't look at the Yelpers and feel a lot in common with them.
Right.
At the same time, a 17-year-old looking for an underage club to go party in probably also doesn't share the same tastes as people from Yelp.
Sure.
So the difference with Trusted Opinion is that because of the way we're providing rated and ranked recommendations in different communities, we're not excluding the long-tail communities, if you want to use that term, in exchange for just that mass community of individuals who happen to take over a site. When other communities have launched in the past, there's been a lot of people who talk about a certain demographic, and you never really know what demographic that's going to be, will take over the site. This is what happened to Orkut. Obviously a very large social network, completely driven by Brazilians.
Sure.
Did Google plan that, or did Orkut plan it before they were acquired? No. But once a particular demographic gets on these sites, they sort of drive it. And because Trusted Opinion, has weighted recommendations that sort of bring together your community and your friends, you're never driven solely by a group of people who might have come in and taken over the site, as it were.
So there's two ways you can go. You can be a destination site, you can have a community, you can compete with a Yelp or a Flickster, or you can compete with sort of the enterprise apps out there, or at least the B2B companies providing recommendations like Lumia, which just raised $5 million in aggregate knowledge, and Wise even to some extent. So are you moving into that direction? Are you going to compete with those guys, or are you going to compete with the destination sites?
Well, when we launched the site, it was specifically a destination site, and we did get a lot of growth, 500,000 users in the first 9 months, and growing very quickly. But we've been approached by so many different companies, from mainstream entertainment companies all the way out to enterprise software companies, asking if they can use our visualizations, which we have patent pending, as well as our recommendation technology. So because of that, we raised a lot of money last fall, at least a lot of money from our perspective.
$2.5 million.
Right, to go out and focus on providing a third-party platform. And that's something we're working on this year.
So you're going to be providing this as sort of a white label solution?
That's correct. I wouldn't call it a white label solution, but I would call it a pluggable solution, a way for people to take their existing sites and leverage trusted opinion on those sites.
And is that how you're going to make money?
Actually, even as a destination site, we're in a great place. Unlike a lot of other social networks that potentially have a lot of page views but are driven solely by advertising, we're entering the stream in the point of decision making, where people are going to buy something. So we really see affiliate revenue as higher than advertising revenue for the destination site itself.
What are you making this year? What do you think you'll pull in this year?
We're not disclosing our revenue this year, but we are monetizing the site as it is today, and as we roll out a third-party platform, as we discussed, then clearly there are some more enterprise type of revenue streams that come from that.
As you look at the big public companies, like the media companies or the internet companies, established internet companies, who do you fit in well with?
In terms of, that's an interesting question.
As a partner.
Well, once again, this is going to come down to getting people who really buy into the concept of social recommendations. What's interesting is that so many of these enterprise software type of recommendation companies, they talk about their black box collaborative filtering approach, and they talk about their supercomputer that provides the best recommendations. And we believe it's more about psychology than math. When I give you a recommendation, if you trust me, if I'm a friend, you're really going to hold that as in high value. And so what Trusted Opinion really drives are social recommendations. What I mean by that is that we try to mirror the way you get recommendations in real life. And if people realize that, which they're starting to do, I think, in large numbers, then we can plug into a variety of different types of media companies, a variety of different kinds of content companies, retailers.
Is that sort of like what aggregate knowledge is doing, going in, being the recommendation engine for media companies as well as retailers already? Yeah,
I think aggregate knowledge has a great product concept, but the wrong product. And what I mean by that is they're trying to mirror the functionality that already exists on sites like Amazon and saying, look, Amazon's got great collaborative filtering types of technologies, we'll do the same thing. We just feel like that's the wrong way to provide great recommendations. So
what's the right way then?
The right way is, once again, is to coming back to psychology over math, doing it the way we do it in real lives. When you go to a cocktail party and your friend says, oh, you know what, there's a guy over here who drives the same kind of car as you should talk to him, he's got a great mechanic. That's the way we get recommendations. It's not that a computer says, you bought Die Hard 1, so you're going to love Die Hard 2. Well, maybe not. That's not really a believable recommendation. And that's the way collaborative filtering works.
So it's recommendations for your friends, that's basically, because that's typical, not from past behavior, but from what you're...
Correct, and not just your friends, because that wouldn't be a large enough group, but your entire network of friends.
Got it. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, one last thing I'll say. There's an interesting study that came out of Wharton last year called The Impact of Recommender Systems on Sales Diversity. So there's always been this argument from these platform companies that provide recommendations that say that recommendations are best done through collaborative filtering and mathematics, and they let you sell your long tail of inventory. What's actually come out in the study is that's actually the opposite. What happens is these recommendation systems that are based on collaborative filtering technologies, they actually hyper-emphasize the top 10, and they completely discard the long tail. And with Trusted Opinion, because you're in diverse communities of your friends and your network of friends, if your friends love, for example, Korean films from the 1950s, you're going to see a lot of Korean films from the 1950s, where you're not going to get that from a standard recommendation engine.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to check it out and see what my friends are recommending if I can get my friends on there.
Right.
I think you. Big trick.
Well, as I said, for our normal users, our average user invites 37 friends, so we are getting a large viral growth.
Okay. Well, good luck to you. You're going to raise any more additional funds? You raised $2 million last fall, but.
We have a pretty good cash position right now. I think in the fall, as we start to focus on our platform and other technologies, we'll be looking for investment at that point.
Okay. Well, good luck to you, Todd.
Thank you very much.
I've been speaking with Todd Greene. He's the COO and co-founder of Trusted Opinion. I'm Bambi Francisco.